Never seen you without your legs on. Never seen you look so... sorry. And he giggles again and moves to sit up a little straighter. I'm caught up in the moment of her shirt, very nearly losing myself. I was wondering what your reaction would be. Nurse called me and told me you were going to drop by, you see. And I know you haven't seen me, well, you know. Without legs. I responded in a tone of casual surprise. Oh, you don't have them on? I didn't notice. This is almost the truth. I very nearly didn't. I'm not trying to be suave or anything, mind you. Somehow I think Emmy would get offended by that. Instead, she sticks her tongue out at me and chucks the pillow at my head. Ass. I definitely catch the pillow and take careful aim before throwing. Emmy laughs and rolls to one side, dodging my shot. The shifting of her shirt distracted me enough so that the next thrown pillow hits me right between the eyes. Oof. I retaliate, of course, and once I've retaliated twice, well, a war was bound to break out sooner or later. And really, when Emmy appears to have far better aim than me, well, it was just a matter of time before I'd have to resort to a suicidal charge. Gotcha. Eep. Bam. Smack. Biff. And once that charge was accomplished, well, of course I'd have to wrestle the pillows away from her. With that kind of struggle, of course we'd wind up in this sort of position. Oh no. And so I find myself staring down at her from my position atop her. Huh. Wait, how'd she get the beads in her hair just a second she didn't have them? That's kind of weird. Current scene dropping by. She grins, her eyes sparkling with amusement, maybe a little sweaty now from our tussle. Her chest is heaving up and down, sucking in air. The small bit of my brain that's not currently enraptured by the sight and the smell of her observes that she must still be ill because her stamina is not what it should be. We stay that way for a while. I'm not sure how long. Everything seems to go fuzzy, everything that isn't her anyway. Her eyes meet mine, and deep inside them I almost catch a glimpse of, what, fear? Longing? Hope? Emmy? A cough suddenly convulses her, and I'm almost stumbling in my haste to get off to apologize for everything. Sorry, I shouldn't have. It's fine, it's fine. She gives me a reassuring pat on the shoulder. So, what brings you here? She's still breathing hard, and that causes her voice to shake slightly. Well, before I was so rudely assaulted by pillows, I came to see how you were doing. Wham! This turns me another shove, and I nearly fall off her bed. Annie's eyes sparkle again. I wonder how I never noticed how attractive they are before. You weren't looking at him, I guess, consumed with worry, were you? Her tone is mocking, haughty, teasing. She throws her arm across her forehead dramatically, grin still apparent from underneath. Couldn't bear the thought of me laying deathly ill. You know, as we both recover from our brief wrestling match, Emmy appears to fall back on teasing me. Well, I want to say consumed with worry, but after you didn't show up this morning like a total wuss. Emmy pouts, crossing her arms petulantly and sticking her lower lip out. It's not my fault. Yeah, it's not your fault you ran in the rain. Nurse wouldn't allow it. Sure he wouldn't. I completely believe you. Emmy sticks her tongue out again. You're such a jerk, Sal. So how was your day then, Ed? Did you enjoy slacking off? Not really. The phone woke me up pretty early on. The phone? Yeah, the captain of the team called to make sure I was doing okay. Also to let me know it was okay to skip practice. Good, at least she wasn't alone all day. Someone checked up on her. You're going to have a pang of, jealousy. Although I can't help but think that it should have been me. Oh, that's good. He really keeps an eye on you, huh? Emmy shrugs. It's his job. Part of being the captain means you know where your team members are when they're not in school. Still, I guess it was nice of him to call, huh? Yep, sure was. Emmy yawns and shimmies down into a more comfortable position. So how was your day? Kind of uneventful, you know? I went ahead and ran by myself and talked with the nurse about how you were doing. I meander through the day's events, none of which are particularly engrossing. That's when I'm distracted by an arm finding its way across my waist. It seems that Emmy fell asleep while I was talking, so I draw her blanket to cover us. I was spending the night. She's rolled over onto her side, and now one leg is thrown over my legs, effectively trapping me. Hey. It seems a shame to wake her, but I have things to do. I gently shake her, but in response she only tightens her arm's grip on me and sighs a little. My resistance to this position crumbles rather quickly. The feeling of her body breathing steadily is both calming and incredibly stimulating at the same time. My breathing cannot decide if it wants to relax or speed up. Relaxation wins, and I find myself putting an arm around Emmy. I think I'm in love. The words slip out and hang in the air unnoticed. At least I hope they've gone unnoticed. Emmy whimpers weakly through her dream, and her grip suddenly tightens again. For the first time since I've known her, I see tears running down Emmy's face. It feels like my heart is about to break. I instinctively tighten my own grip and stroke her hair in what I hope is a soothing manner. Words of comfort, meaningless in the situation, spring to mind. Maybe I should wake her. Are you supposed to wake people having nightmares? I can't for the life of me remember. The decision is taken from me as Emmy suddenly jerks awake with a cry. Dad! This is more than I think I want to hear without her knowing. I quickly sit up right and gently shake her shoulder to stir her. Hey, you okay? What a silly question. Huh? What? Sal. She shakes her head as to clear it and quickly wipes her eyes. You had a nightmare, I think. Emmy shudders again and glances up at me a little cautiously as if unsure whether or not she's actually up. Yeah, I guess so. You want to talk about it? A speedy internal debate seems to be going on in her head, which resolves itself with a shrug. Nah, I don't really remember much of it. I'm pretty sure she's lying to me, but somehow I think I should press the... Somehow I don't think I should press the issue. Emmy shudders again and turns toward me, looking a little sheepish. Sorry for falling asleep on you like that. I keep my voice as soothing as I can. Hey, don't worry about it. You've been ill. Yeah, I guess that cold message just made me a little drowsy. I guess so. Emmy does not strike me as the sort of person who'd fall asleep at the drop of a hat. Rin, maybe, but Emmy's far too energetic. Emmy gives a half smile at my response, and then just like that, she's back to her old self. Well, prepare yourself for tomorrow morning, Hassal. We'll have to go twice as hard to make up for it today. But I went running this morning. No excuse. Oh, fine, I'll be ready for you. Emmy nods, satisfied. Good. I take this as my cue to exit. Well, I'd better get going, especially if I wanted to get enough sleep for tomorrow. I'll hop off the bed and head for the door. Hey, Sal? I pivot neatly on my heel and face Emmy. She opens her mouth to say something, and then in another phrase I see her falter slightly. She closes her mouth and opens it again. Thanks. For dropping by, I mean. You're kind of the first visitor I've ever had who wasn't Rin. Now that's surprising. I would have figured that Emmy'd have people dropping by all the time. She's certainly popular enough, or so I thought, always talking to people in the hallways. Emmy hesitates again, and thanks for staying around after well... A look of pain flits across her face. You know. It helped. She brightens back up and waves cheerily at me. See you tomorrow. Yeah, see you later. I'm just about to exit the door when something makes me turn around again. Hey, Emmy? Anytime you need to talk, let me know, okay? Emmy seems taken aback by this offer. Her grin gets even wider. Sure thing, Hassal. See you in the morning. I exit Emmy's room with my head in a whirl. Should I have even left? Was she really okay? I want to turn around and march back down the hallway, open the door, and tell her I love her, tell her I think she's beautiful, tell her that I'll be there when she needs me. It might be too soon for that. I want to stay with her, to hold her close as she falls back to sleep. How many nights has she woken up like that, only to find that nobody's there? I want to be the person she can be with when that happens. It's a silly thought, I know. We don't know each other that well, do we? The whole idea, while exhilarating, also makes me feel worry perhaps, that I'd overstepped my bounds. And now to add to my troubles, it seems as if Emmy herself already has an interest in someone else. This track cat of hers who seems so interested in her well-being. True, I've only seen the two of them together a few times, but that doesn't change the fact that they seem better suited to one another. There's really nothing to be done about that. I need to take my mind off of this whole situation. I've got homework to do. Maybe that will distract me. A night of restlessness has left me feeling fairly groggy this morning. The events of the previous day keep intruding upon my mind. Oh yeah, what's this scene called? The first morning after. I should probably save too, it's been a little bit since I saved. The events of the previous day keep intruding upon my mind. The memory of how Emmy felt against me, the memory of our wrestling match, and most bothersome, the memory of her nightmare. She was in so much pain. I can't stop wondering what it must be like for her to wake up with nobody there. The shower shocks me awake with hot water. Awake, but still worried. What will happen today? Will things just go back to normal? Ended the episode, back to the status quo. There was a connection yesterday, something that nearly pushed us past the boundaries of normal friendship. Would that have been so bad? My mind goes back to looking at Emmy's eyes after our pillow fight, and then it seemed like she was daring me to go on. Almost. But I can't know for sure. Anyway, the track captain's probably first in her affections, but even as I say that, my mind is already snorting derisively. I'm just looking for an excuse or a reason for everything to go wrong. Yeah, no, I can see why he has, this negative outlook, but I think he should have had more confidence. Derisive, yeah. Expressing contempt or ridicule. But even as I said that, my mind is already snoring derisively. I'm just looking for an excuse, a reason for everything to go wrong. A reason to not try. It's not as if I've even seen the two of them together outside of track practice. And clearly he's never visited Emmy said as much as herself. If they were close, surely he'd visit. I'm such a wuss. I'll have to just go for it anyway. Damn the consequences. That's what Emmy would do, I think. Hell, I know that's what she would do. Which is partially why I'm convinced that there's no interest on her end. She hasn't acted either. Maybe because of the track captain, it's possible she got a bit of an unrequited crush thing going on. But who would be able to clarify their relationship? It sure as hell can't be Emmy. She'd probably just laugh and ask why I wanted to know. And I'm not ready to answer that yet. Rin would probably just give me some cryptic answer or something, and then with my luck, she'd just ask Emmy, who would ask me why I wanted to know. And I've already covered that problem. I wonder, could I get away with asking the nurse? He seems pretty protective of Emmy. I'm sure he knows something was up, and he owes me for not letting Emmy know he forgot to tell me about her being ill, so he'll keep quiet. What if he asks me why I want to know, though? I can't shake him off, just say I'm curious as a friend. He'll buy that, won't he? Of course. That's settled, then. After the run, I'll talk to him while Emmy's waiting outside the office. There's no sign of Emmy when I arrive at the track, as she's still too ill. I decide to give her 10 minutes. I'm a little early and she was ill yesterday, so she takes a while to show up, but it shouldn't be surprising. Still, I'd hate to just waste my time, so I occupy myself by stretching and pacing back and forth anxiously. What if I went too far yesterday? What if she doesn't come because she's embarrassed? What if? Stop living in the what ifs. You're early again, Hisao.